In the current era of low oil prices, there has been renewed discussion in Trinidad and Tobago about diversification. In the Energy Chamber, we believe that the energy services sector can play a key role in diversification through accessing service export markets in the Caribbean and further afield. This is a view shared by the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
And it has become clear to us that we have a number of Trinidad and Tobago-based companies that were indigenous in birth, that are national and regional now in scope, involving not just the Caribbean but Latin America, and that are in fact engaged in global expansion together with the multinationals that are present in Trinidad and Tobago. And this is something that we can build on to build global services companies.
Trinidad and Tobago is well placed to be a hub to support the development of the oil and gas industry in the region.
Trinidad and Tobago service companies and contractors have made considerable progress in the region, in Trinidad being the sort of center point for all activity in this area. And we consider this area to be a huge potential in the future. Areas like Suriname, Guyana, and French Guyana. Trinidad has become like the hub for servicing all offshore operations and upstream activities in those areas. We are hoping to use the facilities at Galeota Point to be the hub for servicing Suriname, Guyana, and French Guyana.
We have a number of international opportunities now that are close to us. We have the Manatee Field with Venezuela, where we share the resources of that field, but we have the technical expertise and we have the knowledge and know-how. That is one opportunity. We have an opportunity with Guyana and Suriname, where there is a tremendous potential in terms of both oil and gas exploration and development. And when you think of these things, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, you begin to see that northern Brazil is also a potential for building a kind of arrangement in this part of the region that has not really been explored by Trinidad and Tobago before.
One of the areas that I think has some of the biggest potential in the region is Venezuela. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. Most people are not aware of that. So there are some challenges in working in Venezuela, but also a number of companies have worked in Venezuela and have been quite successful.
While countries with existing or potential hydrocarbon resources have been the major area of concentration for energy service exporters from Trinidad and Tobago, our skill set and technical competency has also allowed us to develop new subsectors outside of the oil and gas industry.
My first energy training program in Aruba in 1998 for the Aruba Hotel Association, and from there I've done in every other Caribbean Hotel Association from Bahamas in the north all the way down to Aruba. So I would tell hoteliers how to save energy from the energy management training, and they would then want me to do an energy audit for them, which I did. And then afterwards it will come back, because energy management and energy efficiency was very new at that time in the Caribbean. Where do we buy the products? The energy saving light bulbs, the compact fluorescent bulbs that we all know about now in 1998, 1999. People didn't know where to buy them. So I was a consultant doing training and energy audits. And now I found myself having to provide a service. There was a need for the customers. So I started selling light bulbs, water saving devices, the small things. And that's where I took off from. I grew from there into the larger type projects. So that is basically how my project has grown throughout the Caribbean.
And what advice do the successful service exporters have for other companies seeking to access new markets?
I think it's also good for you to work with the local chambers. Like for instance, the Energy Chamber has trade missions in different territories, and you should go and move with them to learn from them on what's going on in different markets. Other thing too is Export TT has been very helpful as well to us. So they can give you advice on how to move into different markets.
I think we have tremendous potential. We have raised the bar in that all of our companies are now, we have something like 320 odd companies that are STO certified. And we've also raised the bar with our competency training that has been happening to world-class standards. So I feel it's the right time and the right opportunity for us to be able to expand overseas, and let's take all of our 350 to 500 companies, give them the opportunity to work in the international market.